Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. The 10th and 11th chapters with V formula, Vibhuti and Vishwarupa, plays an important role of a gem, the middle gem, precious gem in a Godhead. That is what I have been presenting with special reference to some shlokas. While understanding the Bhagavad Gita, we must analyze the background, situational background and psychological background. Both must be properly examined, taken into account. We know that there are 700 shlokas classified under 18 headings. There is an underneath formulae. In order to peep into the inside structure of the whole text. For that we must go to Acharyas, great Bhashyakars. Now we know in the modern world, university structures, there will be a textbook first, and on the basis of that there will be a workbook also. So workbook, textbook, there will be some exercises affixed to that. In our Indian tradition, Bhashyas play that role. They are workbooks. Particularly Shankaracharya's Bhashya, it plays this role. That is how he gives the interpretations. According to his guidelines, all those 18 chapters are classified into 3 separate gametes, separate domains as such. First 6 chapters, the second 6 chapters, and the third 6 chapters. So unit number 1, it is 6 chapters starting from the first chapter. And unit number 2, again 6 chapters, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th chapters. Again starting from 13th chapter, the last and final gamut of the whole text. That is how 3 units were made. For these 3 different units, different domains, subject domains are fixed. in our tradition, Advaita tradition. So beautifully they give wonderful insight to us. But this is only God by parampara. Sampradaya, that is the word used by Shankara Bhagavad himself. Sampradaya vit. Sarva shastrartha vidapi asampradaya vit. Murkhavadeva upekshanya. This is a statement. Though he may be great, versatile scholar, but he must know that the thread of tradition. Then only he can peep into the inner structure of the whole text. That is the guidelines given by Bhashyakara. This first unit, it deals with the individual soul. Tvam padartha. Tvam padartha. What is the Tvam padartha? Tat Tvam Asi. There are three words. This Tat Tvam Asi, this is called Mahavakya. Mahavakya means it is some bonum of the whole text. Mahavakya. This Mahavakya is taken from Chandogya, 6th chapter. Aitadatmyamidam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi shvetaketo. That is how Arni gives the proper guidance to his son, Shvetaketu, one who just came back from Gurukula, but he was not aware of that theory of everything, grand unifying theory. It was unknown to him. Father makes this inquiry. Oh my son, do you know this one? Sarva eka vijnanena sarva vijnanam. My son, do you know there is some formula which tells about theory of everything? What is that? If you know one thing, nothing will be left unknown. That means if you know one thing, you know everything. One thing is everything. Whatever you know that everything, it is only nothing. Everything is nothing. One thing is something. No. One thing is everything. There is nothing which is everything. Everything, multiplicity, it is only appearing. What is the truth? One thing. One thing exists. Everything, it is nothing. Oh, it is very subtle. Yenashrutam shrutam bhavatyamatam matam avijnatam vijnatamiti. That is how Chandogya says. Wonderful formula. There, Father Agni gives this Mahavakya. Oh my son, see, whatever production you see, it is nothing but it is root cause. Root cause is the real cause, that is the real existing thing. Whatever appears, it does not exist. Whatever does exist, that doesn't appear. This is the mystery of this universe, my son. Try to understand. That is how Aruni starts this type of wonderful discourse. It is in the 6th chapter of Chandogya. You know, Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dukta Gopalanandana. Upanishads are the cows. Gita is that milk, you know. That is how, for every statement which you see in Bhagavad Gita, you must connect it to the Upanishadic sources. Here, that is the formula. So, this is Tvam. Tvam means individual soul. Tat, it is universal. Asi, it is integrating one. Though you are different by your nature, by you at all levels. Body level, mind level, intellect level, vital level. Okay, in all this, you connect to that Tat, Sat, unifying one, grand unifying one, holistic one, you wither away. You disappear. You will never be there. You become one. Only this is question of connecting. You connect to Tat. Tvam must be connected to Tat. Not so easy. Tvam got its own ego. Every Tvam, every individual soul, it has its own heap of ahankara. It is not ready to give up its separate identity. But sadhana, ultimately Tvam will disappear and Tat only remains. Tvam tadasi Shvetaketu. Oh my son Shvetaketu, you are not you. That you, it has no self-existence. It is Tat. It has its own existence. That is ultimate. That is how, giving many analogies, various type of analogies, not one or two. See, all these rivers go to ocean and they lose their names and fame. All name, fame, everything disappears. Bees collect nectar, ambrosia from different flowers. But when they are put together, that origin, its separate identity, everything lasts. Only one, honey. That is how it starts. Various type of examples and analogies, they all prove that oneness, that grand unifying formula theory. That is embedded in this whole structure. That is how tradition says, first 6 unit deals with individual soul, and the second unit it deals with Tat Padartha. That is why from the 7th chapter we study what that Adhyatma Yoga we study there. Multiple formulas, multiple manifestations. All those are very well portrayed in the 10th chapter. The same thing it is exhibited by Krishna. So this is for theory, 10th chapter, and 11th chapter it is for demonstration. Whatever theory formulation, the same thing it was exhibited. That is how this 10th and 11th chapter, these two, become guiding principles to both units, comprising 9 chapters on the previous part and 7 chapters on the latter part. That is how another division. 9 chapters, 10th and 11th chapters, 2, then again started from 12th chapter, ending with 8th chapter. How to understand? First is now understood clearly. It is individual soul, that is what projected in the first 6 chapters. Then it is Tat, Sat, Brahman, its multiple manifestations. Then the last 6 chapters, it is only analysis of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetra and Kshetrajna. What is this Kshetra body? How it is formulated? What is its root cause? That analysis is so beautifully done in the 30th chapter. Kshetrajna chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. That is the real knowledge, oh my friend Arjuna. You must know what is kshetra and what is that kshetrajna. And how that kshetrajna is connected to Paramatma. Jneyam yattat pravakshami. यज्ञात्वा अमृतमश्नुते अनादिमत् परम ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते. This is in 13th chapter. How that individual soul must be connected to universal one. How Kshetra has no self-existence from that of Kshetrajna, and Kshetrajna also has no, Kshetrajna means individual soul, has no self-existence, is also nothing but Brahman. That is how gradually Krishna takes all we Naras, like Arjuna, takes us to the heights. So beautifully. Wonderful technology, learning technique used. So that is how the third unit, comprising six chapters, it deals with this unifying theory. So Tvam is projected in the first 6 chapters. Tat is projected and portrayed very well in the subsequent 6 chapters. And the culmination of the whole analysis of Tvam and Tat, it is done in that last and final unit comprising 6 chapters. That is the concluding part, where Tvam and Tat, individual soul and universal soul, both are integrated. That integrating formula, it is called Kshetrajnancha api mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajnancha api mam vidhi. Kshetrajnam mancha api vidhi. Kshetrajna, who is individual soul here, is not at all individual in nature, in the real nature. He is universal. Though he seems to be, looks to be individual because he is confined in this, encircled by this body frame, he is nothing but same Brahman. This is very well portrayed in the 13th chapter. That particular formula which was presented in that chapter, it continues in all those subsequent chapters. The culmination of this one, it is in the 17th and 18th chapter, where whole Guna formula is very well portrayed for mind reading. So that 6 plus 6 plus 6, Tvam Tat Asi. That is how this whole text originated from the 6th chapter of Samavediya Upanishad Chandogya. This must be understood. Gradually let us understand. Because these are all very embedded, insightful, philosophical thoughts. But nothing is difficult. Gradually we can understand. Bhagavad Gita is very easy, but in the same time, its inherent formulas and that Saraswati water beneath it, it is so profound. That profundity must be understood by Guru Parampara. So this type of division, 6 plus 6 plus 6, let us try to understand. Om Tat Sat.